Hola, gringas y gringos, and welcome to this episode of Gringos Are Us.
Expats with a plan.
This week, we want to discuss, our breakfast at La Mariposa with Liz and Romy, who are real estate agents with MyPlace at Querétaro.
Yes, and that's going to be coming up right after this.
Welcome back. So we got invited to breakfast by a couple of real estate agents who we've really been spending quite a bit of time with. Liz and Romy from MyPlace at Querétaro. They are working with Landy and Roddy.
Yes.
With renting this place that we're in right now. And they were really eager to meet with us, and we're so glad because ever since that meeting, we really have been spending quite a bit of time with them. They're just such a pleasure and a joy to be around.
They became lifelong friends in 1 week.
Honestly.
Yes.
Honestly, it's true. And they are such a wonderful resource, particularly if you are a non-Spanish speaking expat new to this country. Seriously.
And
you don't understand the laws about rentals or purchases. Yeah.
we are going to be doing an interview with them in an upcoming episode to
Indeed.
explain the rental process. So
Indeed.
something to keep an eye out for if you're interested in trying to figure out that. But they graciously invited us to breakfast at this wonderful, wonderful little place.
Hey, honey.
Hola.
Morning in Histórico. Centro Histórico.
Yes, it is. Going to have breakfast.
La Mariposa. With Liz and Romy. Romy?
Romy.
Romy.
wasn't that long of a wait.
No, but it seemed to go fast because nobody's rushed. Everybody just takes their time and waits.
No. And even the people eating, nobody's rushing them
Nope.
to get up and leave so they can make room for us. And that's fine. You know, I would like that. Nobody rushes us.
Well, glad they didn't, because I think we sat there for about 90 minutes.
We were there for quite some time. Okay, so let's talk about what we got to eat.
Divorced enchiladas. Whoa.
Oh, and you know, something I noticed. The portions here really are not astronomically large in most cases.
I can think of one that blew that away, but
yes,
yeah.
But in general,
yes.
The portions are not really, really large. Like you might see in the United States. I'm not sure about Canada, but you go to some restaurants and you get so much food you can't even finish what you have, unless of course you finish it uncomfortably.
Yeah, but the best part is there is enough food there.
Yes.
It's not like she both of us got this exact same dish based on a recommendation from Romy, and you have two green
and two
red enchiladas. We both chose the pollo for the chicken, and they come covered and two of them are covered in the green and the verde salsa, and two in the rojo salsa.
And it was there was crema and some queso on the top. And it was just a small dish. I mean, we're talking enchiladas maybe about this big, about this long.
And served they brought one plate of refried beans.
That was ordered extra.
For everybody.
That was actually ordered extra. That was just and the refried beans are cooked with chorizo.
Yep.
Oh, so good.
Yes, they were.
And I had a cappuccino. Now, the cup that this cappuccino came in was so elegant. I had never seen anything like this before. But the cappuccino itself, OMG, you could taste the creaminess. It was so good. Probably one of the best cappuccinos I've ever had in my life. Yes, better than Starbucks.
It was one of the best Cokes I've ever had, too.
It was a Coke.
I'm just saying.
So while we were there, some guy who is famous in Centro, I'm going to try to find a video clip about this guy. But apparently he rides along in his vehicle, whatever the vehicle is. I don't know if it's a cart, if it's a bike, if it's a car.
If it's a bus.
We don't know. And he yells out the window at people something like animal or something like that. I don't know what it means. I'm going to feel horrible. And somebody's going to probably know what I'm saying and they're going to tell me exactly what it's all about.
You can make book on that.
You know.
Yes.
But the thing about it is apparently it brings a lot of happiness and joy to the community, and that's why he does it.
He's a celebrity in Centro.
He's a celebrity in Centro. He's like the spoon lady of Asheville. If you know who the spoon lady of Asheville is, you know what I mean. Or he's like that guy that stands around up there outside the Starbucks in Seattle and says what he says. I need a big fat.
I'm not going there.
But he's known in Centro for doing this thing. And it was interesting because he came into the restaurant, he was speaking to a couple of nuns.
Ánimo! Ánimo!
And then he was gone, and the impression was kind of given that maybe he was asked to not stay.
I don't know.
Don't really know.
I was busy with my food.
The food was good. Well, let's get back to that food. So the food was fantastic. Now, before we met up with them, I was walking around taking pictures of things.
Mm-hmm.
We got there a little early. I think breakfast was around 9:30, so we wanted to be there around 7. And we got there and we parked, and I proceeded to try to get some photographs of Centro. It was first time really there.
And we parked, and we described this parking lot.
Oops.
It's rough.
It was rough.
Not the neighborhood or anything else.
No.
The actual driving part in there.
It was on Cinco de Mayo.
Yep, and it was not too smooth.
Potholes, major potholes.
And
Like you could catfish in these potholes.
and I think they wanted us to leave the keys, and they weren't getting them. I just didn't understand what he was saying, and
It was valet parking,
yeah,
theoretically.
yeah.
He said something to us. First of all, we pulled into an empty space.
Well, we pulled into
That was
number
a-
25, and then then we had to get
no.
rerouted over to number 31, and
Because they typically probably park them in the order that they want to park them in. We didn't know.
then they wanted to wash the car.
And then they wanted to wash the car, which probably would have been fine if we knew that's what they wanted to do, which we just didn't know.
Well, and it would have been a lot easier if they'd had the keys. Then they could have pulled it out to wash it, but then they'd have backed it up into that parking spot that had all that dust in it. So
Yeah.
whatever, just it was a different
It was
experience.
a learning experience
Yes.
for us. Now, the fun thing about that is that when I looked at Google Maps, I was actually able to save that as where we left our car parked.
Yes.
So we could navigate back to it after breakfast.
And what I did was after we walked down the street, I found a landmark that was just a half a block away so that I could remember that landmark so we knew if we were on the right street and if we were getting close.
I'm not so good at that.
That's just
It's what he does.
what I do.
He remembers mile markers on the side of a highway. It's what he does.
Well, if you're going to call for assistance, it's nice to tell them where you're at. Just,
I get that.
yeah.
But how many of you drive around and even pay attention to those mile markers?
I do.
Okay, he does.
So anyway, then we strolled around and
Got some pictures.
got some pictures,
Looked inside some churches.
got a little drone footage,
Yeah.
strolled for about 90 minutes,
Yep.
and
Met up with Liz and Romy.
okay, if you like me, you always carry extra pesos in your pocket just because when you gotta find that baño, and they're not that easy to find, be prepared. It seems like in Centro, it's gonna run you about 10 pesos.
That's when you went to the one underground, right?
That's the one I went into the parking lot. Yes,
Yeah.
it was a parking deck.
Okay.
So, and they actually gave me a receipt.
They gave him a receipt for the baño.
Yep. Yep.
All right.
So, then we met up with Liz and Romy.
We had breakfast.
Yep.
And then while we were there, Roddy from Life With Louie was eating at La Llave. And he came over from La Llave when he was done there and came over to La Mariposa to meet up with us and have coffee and a slice of cake.
Because he didn't get into immigration that day. They closed the gate right in front of him and said, no mas.
Oh, that's right. We had dropped him off at immigration. He had someone, his handler was standing in line for him, but I'm not real sure when his handler got there, maybe 4 a.m. We already know from our INM facilitator that they were there before midnight for ours. But his guy was there, or his woman, I'm not sure, but his handler was there, and right before he got up there, they closed the gate and said they were doing no more appointments that day. So yeah, his plans were thwarted. He got an Uber into Centro, went for breakfast.
Walked over from Llave to where we were at and had a cup of coffee with us and a piece of cake. And then next, after that, came this picture.
And this picture.
Oh, that's right, we did too.
We did. Then after that, we brought Roddy back here to the house because Roddy was actually down here to get his renewal on his residency.
Yep.
And that was the end of the day.
That's
I
it.
got to tell you, that was our first daytime visit
Yes.
to Centro.
Yes.
And it wasn't super busy like it was the previous night, or not it wasn't the previous night, but
A few nights earlier.
we had gone previously at night on a busy weekend, and Centro was just a buzzing.
And I'm sure that video will be being posted at some point in the future.
That video is already posted up here.
It is?
It is.
All right. It's up there.
It's up there.
Some of us just don't know what's going on.
It's okay.
Not the first time in my life.
Nah, it's just that.
Retired life with Mark. Get used to it. No bull.
No bull. Oh, we can say no lie.
No lie.
Retired life with Mark. No lie. His days are out. He's already darker than me. He spends his days sitting on a patio getting sun.
Well, that's not all I do. I'm sitting there answering their comments and stuff.
Yes, he is. And we appreciate all of those comments.
We do.
Very, very much. If you're getting value, entertainment, or information from our video content, please consider subscribing and sharing with your friends.
And don't forget to give us a thumbs up and a like.
Thumbs up and ring the bell.
Absolutely. That way you're notified of all new content when it drops.
And if you are considering making a move to Mexico, we highly recommend the complete Mexico relocation guide. You will find the link below. We were using this guide.
Oh, it's down there.
We were using this guide
It's not all it's down there, but yeah, okay.
long before we became affiliates, and found it to be very helpful in getting prepared to make the move. But I really feel the content that's within the guide is going to even provide us so much more information and assistance now that we are actually living here.
Yeah, we found both our facilitator and our car insurance right through that guide right there.
Absolutely. So please consider a membership. It does not cost you anything more, but we do get a little bit of a kickback once you subscribe. That is a lifetime membership, and that also gets you access to members-only Facebook groups and occasionally members-only video content.
Yes.
We also have Nomad Insurance through Safety Wing. Again, there is a link below. We purchased the insurance because,
What the
well,
hell is all this shit below?
it is shoo.
Oh,
Shut your
okay.
mouth. We purchased Nomadic Insurance because, well, I left my job to move here and I had the medical insurance plan. So we really did not have insurance. And we did not really have the ability to meet up with a broker and really discuss our options. So we wanted coverage, just enough to cover us until we have an opportunity to get a normal health insurance plan.
Yeah, we didn't want to be pressured into doing the, oh God, we're winging it down here, which we probably could have done, but it's a whole lot better feeling knowing if something catastrophic happens, we're covered.
Exactly.
And now we've got 6 months because, trust me, when you get down here, the acclimation takes time.
Yeah.
And suddenly the thought of talking with someone, even if they speak English, it gets a little bit intimidating just because you're so used to everyone you encounter almost speaking Spanish. And if you're not fluent, you can really sort of get a little, do the turtle and just go, oh.
Which is why I'm actually going to look into getting a human Spanish tutor. But Nomadic Insurance through Safety Wing was a really good option for us. You can have as little as a few weeks, up to 1 year. I just chose the 6-month option for us, just long enough to get our feet on the ground and get us acclimated to where we can speak to a broker about what we really need.
Yes.
That Nomadic Insurance is good to use in all countries around the world except for your home country. So it's a very good option if you travel a lot. Well, that is this week's video. We just thought La Mariposa was an absolutely delightful place to have breakfast.
Add it to your list of things to do when you get to Querétaro.
Seriously. And of course, just walking around Querétaro when it's not busy, when there's not a lot of people out, I mean, it's just stunning.
And it was really interesting to watch. They were starting to set the booths up and the vendors and the trucks that were coming in to restock the restaurants and the bars and everything else. So it's a totally different view during the day than it was at night.
It really was. We love to read your comments. We appreciate the feedback
You actually do read them all, don't you, eventually?
I really do read them all. I leave it up to him to comment on them most of the time.
There's only a couple that you guys have stumped me on that I went, no,
Yeah.
not touching it.
Yeah, but basically, you know, the feedback is really, really, really exciting to get. And of course, we love hearing any suggestions you have. Recently, we were asking about what sort of things you would like to see on some of our excursions to Pueblo Mágicos. And some good suggestions were coming through. So we
Yes.
always read your comments, and we very much do try to respond to every one of them. So thank you very much for taking the time to not only spend your time with us, but to give us that feedback. We appreciate it.
And one of you out there actually one time commented wanting to know about what I was going to do about the cigars. Stay tuned. There's an episode coming soon because I'm just about out. Bad news.
Coming to a channel near you.
Yes. So that's
That's
it
it.
for this week.
As always, we are Gringos R Us.
Expats with a plan.
Remember, we
Are
are doing
doing
it.
it. You can too.
Hasta la próxima vez.
Adios.